Dear students, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this session, we are going to learn about electric field and electric potential. This is 19th session of third semester BSc Physics course of Davangere University. The main objectives of this session are: we are going to understand the concept of electric field. We are going to understand the concept of electric potential, and also we are going to derive the relation between electric field and electric potential. Let us start with the first term, electric field. Electric field. We learned from Coulomb's law that any charge placed in space has the tendency to exert electrostatic force on other charges. The magnitude of this electric force exerted on other charges depends on the product of the charges and inversely proportional to square of the distance. It means as the distance of the between the charges increases, the electrostatic effects acting between the two charges goes on decreases. Therefore, it is essential to define the term called as its field. So, the space surrounding a given charge in which it can exert electrostatic force electrostatic force on other charges is called as its electric field. Mathematically, we can write the electric field at any point due to a given charge Q as force experienced by unit positive test charge. This term is called as its electric field strength. Electric field strength or electric intensity. The measure of strength of electric field at any point due to a given charge is called as electric intensity. So, electric intensity at any point is defined as the force experienced by a unit positive charge, which is generally termed as a test charge. So, in case of an isolated charge, in case of an isolated point charge, in case of an isolated point charge, the magnitude of electric field intensity is given by 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r square. Here, suppose if we take a charge q placed at point O, and if I want to know the strength of electric field at point P due to this charge, which is at a distance of r from the given charge, then the strength of electric field at point P due to this given charge is E bar is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r square. Its SI unit is Newton per Coulomb and is a vector quantity. It is a vector quantity. Now, the direction, since it is a vector quantity, we need to mention both magnitude as well as direction. The direction of electric field depends on the type of charge placed at O. For a positive charge, electric field vector is directed away from the charge. That is, suppose if I take a charge plus q placed at O, then the direction of electric field due to this positive charge, say at any point P, is directed away from it. Similarly, for a negative charge, the direction of electric field is inwards, directed inwards. That is, diagrammatically, if I take the charge minus q placed at the point O, then the electric field strength at P due to this negative charge is directed inwards. Now let us understand the next term, electric potential. In order to understand the electrical behavior of an isolated charge or a system of charges, if we apply Coulomb's law to find the strength of electric field, then since electric field is a vector quantity, the understanding of the effective behavior of the system of charges becomes complicated as the calculations involves the addition of both magnitude as well as direction, as the electric field is a vector quantity. So it is essential to define a scalar quantity which simplifies the understanding of electric behavior of a system of charges in space. This scalar quantity, which can be used to understand the effective behavior of a system of charges, is called as electric potential. So, the electric potential at any point due to a given charge. Suppose if I take a charge Q placed at O, the electric potential at any point P due to this charge is defined as the amount of work done, the amount of work done in bringing a test charge. I think you know that a test charge means a charge whose magnitude is equal to +1 in it. The amount of work done in bringing a test charge from infinity to the given point. The amount of work done in bringing a test charge from infinity to the given point gives us the measure of electric potential at that point. For an isolated charge, for an isolated point charge, the electric potential V is given by 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R. As it is a scalar quantity, and its unit is SI unit. Its SI unit is volt. Now let us define 1 volt. We know that by definition, electric potential is defined as the amount of work done in bringing a unit positive test charge from infinity to the given point. Therefore, if we put the work done is equal to 1 joule, and if I take the test charge is equal to 1 coulomb, then the amount of work done or the electric potential is equal to 1 volt. Therefore, the electric potential at a given point is said to be 1 volt if 1 joule of work is to be done in bringing a charge of 1 coulomb from infinity to that point, against the direction of electric field, against the direction of electric field. Next one, potential difference. Suppose if I place a charge Q at O, and if we try to move a test charge between 2 points, say A and B, against the direction of electric field, in order to displace the charge from one point to another point, certain amount of work is to be done. This amount of work done in bringing a charge in from one point to another point is called as potential difference. It is defined as the amount of work done in bringing a charge from one point to another point against the direction of electric field. Electric field. So potential difference is equal to, suppose if VA is the potential at A, VB is the potential at B, then potential difference is given by VB minus VA. This is equal to the amount of work done dW by the magnitude of charge, test charge. This gives us potential difference. Now let us understand some important points related with electric potential and potential difference. We know that the potential is the property of the point in space. Therefore, for a given charge or a system of charges, the potential at any point is unique. Therefore, its value is unique. Its value is unique. So, at every point, for a given system of charges, there is a certain value of potential. That value is unique. It implies the potential difference is independent of the path traced. That is, in order to bring the charge from one point to another point, it has to trace some path. The potential difference between any 2 points is independent of the path traced. The unit of potential difference is same as that of potential. That is, both potential as well as potential differences are measured in terms of volts. Remember that potential cannot be measured experimentally. Only thing what we measure is we measure the potential difference between the points. Now let us derive the relation between electric field and electric potential. Relation between electric field and electric potential. We know that the electric potential at any point is given by minus E bar dot dr bar. Call this as equation 1. Electric potential at any point is, suppose if I take a charge Q at O, now if I take a point P where the potential is V and the position vector of the point is, if it is given by R bar and electric field is given by E bar. Suppose if I take this as positive charge, then field is directed outwards. Let us take this as E bar. Then V is equal to minus of negative integral of E bar dot dE bar. Negative sign indicates that the electric potential at any point is equal to the work done in bringing the charge from one point to another point against the direction of electric field. Negative sign indicates that the work done is always against the direction of electric field. Now, in terms of Cartesian coordinates, in Cartesian coordinates, we can write E bar as equal to, let us write their components, Ex, I, Ey, J plus Ez, K, where I, J, K are the unit vectors in X direction, Y direction and Z direction respectively. Similarly, the position vector R bar is given by X I cap plus Y J cap plus Z K cap. Therefore, dr bar is equal to, differentiate this, dxi plus dyj plus dzk. Substitute the values of E bar and dr bar in equation 1. We get electric potential V is equal to minus integral of exi plus eyj plus ezk dot dxi plus dyj plus dzk. This is equal to minus integral of. We know the properties of unit vectors. I dot I is equal to 1, j dot j is equal to 1, k dot k is equal to 1, whereas I dot j, j dot k, etc. is equal to 0. So, if you take the dot product, multiply these two terms, then totally we have 9 components. Out of these 9 components, only 3 components exist, while the remaining 6 components become 0 because I dot j, j dot k and those terms will become 0. So, we get integral of Ex dx plus Ey dy plus Ez dz. Since I dot I is equal to 1, j dot j is equal to 1, k dot k is equal to 1. This we can split minus of integral of Ex dx plus integral of Ey dy plus integral of Ez dz. LHS is we call this as equation 2. Now, let us differentiate this equation. Differentiate partially with respect to x, y and z components. We get dou v by dou x is equal to minus ex, or it implies ex is equal to minus dou v by dou x. Similarly, dou v by dou y is equal to minus ey. This implies y component of electric field is equal to minus of dv by dou x. And dou v by dou z is equal to minus ez, or this implies ez is equal to minus dou V by dou Z. Sorry, here there is correction. This is Y. Therefore, E bar is equal to, we know that already, E bar is equal to EXI plus EYZ plus EZK. So, substituting the components EX, EY, EZ, we get E bar is equal to minus dou V by dou X I minus dou V by dou Y J minus dou V by dou Z K. This we can write it as, take minus sign common, dou by dou X I plus dou by dou Y J plus dou by dou Z K into V. We know that this term represents the del operator. So this is equal to minus del bar into V. LHS is E bar. This gives us the relation between electric field and electric potential. Therefore, electric field at any point is the negative potential gradient.